Hey, what's up guys, we're back to Tsukihime. Last time we left off having, right now we left off having gone through the first bit of the, what's her name, Yumizuka stuff. And now we are at school. Also, Shiki had a bit of a, a scary episode. Because in his dream, he was like, I'm jealous of her being able to murder. And it was, a tad bit concerning, not gonna lie. But yeah, and, kind of went through his morning routine with Hisui being a little bit worried, and now we're at school, as you can see. Anyway. There was no point coming to school. Yumizuka Satsuki was treated as an absentee, and no one seemed to be the slightest bit concerned about her. Yeah, which I still think is kind of fucked up, but whatever. Also, I forgot to double check something before I started. My bad. Okay, no, we're good. Time passed without my realizing it. Perhaps Arihiko or CL Senpai came by sometime, but I don't really remember. Noon comes and school ends. I have no idea. But I still have to look for Yumizuka. I mean, you don't have to. You want to, but you don't have to. The sun sets. Even after running everywhere in town, there's no sign of Yumizuka Satsuki anywhere. Yeah. I bite my lip angrily. But it's not anger over not finding her. 2 days ago. I'm mad at myself for promising such a thing in the first place. Yeah. Oh god. Sorry, it's really hot, and without a fan on, like, I don't know, my eye like starts getting like itchy almost in the heat. It's so weird. Help me when I'm in a pinch, okay? Yumizuka said that, and I answered lightheartedly. Yeah. I would help as much as I could. Such an irresponsible answer. There's really nothing I can do. She said it hurt. I can't even find Yumizuka, painfully suffering in the cold darkness. Pardon me. The sun is setting. I don't want to admit it, but maybe I can only find Yumizuka after nightfall. I told Hisui I'd be back in the evening. Perhaps it's too early. I'll go back to the mansion and calmly think this through. Good plan, good plan. Welcome home, Shiki-sama. Hisui was waiting in the lobby. I'm back. Hisui, where's Akiha? Akiha-sama has not returned yet. Since she shall be late, we had to have supper first. I see. I'll be resting in my room until dinner, so I'll head to the dining room when it's time. Yes. Please rest until I call for you. I turned my back to the bowing Hisui and walked towards my room. So, man, I wonder how it's gonna go with, because, with Akiha, in Akiha's room anyway, I should say, we got closer to her after, we killed Yumizuka, but we came home injured, and, she ended up, patching up our wounds. So I'm curious, if that will differ, and if maybe Hisui will stay up late waiting for us instead of Akiha. I could see that being a possibility, but I don't know, we'll have to see. After supper, I sit down on my bed. The clock's hand shows 9 o'clock. Since leaving the mansion after 8 is forbidden, I cannot go outside any longer. But... but that's merely a rule. If I feel like it, I can easily go outside. Bye-bye. See you at school tomorrow, Tono-kun. Yeah, that didn't happen. What am I thinking? It's just foolish. I just can't comprehend what's happening to Yumizuka. You know, it's some supernatural bullshit. I do realize she's the vampire serial killer causing all these incidents in town. But still, I cannot forget her last words. She said in the sunset on her way home. Shiki, you bleeding heart. Before I realize it, it's almost midnight. Lost in thinking about what I should do. I've passed some of the night wide awake. Shiki-sama, are you awake? Yeah. Hisui's voice. Why is she up this late at night? I'm up, but why, Hisui? Yes, I was unsure, but if you were awake, I thought that I should tell you. Oh, did Yumizuka come by again? Also, I know we've seen this particular one before, but I don't think we've ever seen it in the hallway. It's usually in his room or somewhere else. I don't think we've seen it here before. This is cool. Neat. I'm assuming Yumizuka came by again. Probably. Maybe. Possibly? I don't know. Tell me what? Just a while ago, a call came for you, Shiki-sama. The message was that I'll be waiting in the park. Phone call? This late at night? Yes, the call ended before I could ask for her name, so I was unsure if I should tell you, Shiki-sama. Yeah. No, that is... This doesn't require any thought. Yeah, that phone call had to have been from Yumizuka. I mean, it didn't have to be, but it's yeah, it probably is. But it didn't have to be. Thanks, but it's a little late, so I'll wait until tomorrow. She's one of my classmates, so I'll see her tomorrow. What? That is not true. If there's something wrong with smiling like that with such a strained face. Yeah. Okay. Hisui's good at reading us. That's interesting to know. And mildly surprising, but... Yeah. Stupid? I'm not lying at all. He lied as easily as he breathed. I'm fine. I won't go out this late at night. Yeah, okay, buddy. Akiha would get mad, and you would get in trouble, so there's no reason for me to do that. Right. That's the look of someone who doesn't believe a single fucking word he just said. She's like, mm-hmm. Hisui descends into silence. Yeah. The conversation between the stars. Shiki-sama, please do not push yourself too hard. No, I'm not pushing anything. I'm good. I'm fine. Oh, hang on. I'll go to sleep, so please go back to your room. Hisui just looks at me. Like, yeah, fucking right you will. Well, good night. Hey, Natai. Not being able to endure her stare, I slammed the door. What? Okay, look, I get you're a little bit stressed out, Shiki, but you don't have to slam the door on her. That's a bit much. No. Just him being at school and being like, well, Yumizuka's not here, and then him going home. And, well, now, he just got apparently a call from Yumizuka to the mansion. Hisui delivered a message. And she apparently can read Shiki's face very well. Because, Alright, it's coming back a little bit. Back to what I was saying. But yeah, she can apparently read his face really well, because, she immediately was able to tell that he was lying about him not going out at night. And she was like, I don't believe you. With that strained face or that smile, nah. I don't even know if you're, yeah. I don't even know if you can still even hear what I'm saying with my internet going why? Okay, no, I think it's good. Yeah, no, it stayed. Bro, I did. Like, it's dipped before, but that's the first time it for like a minute straight just sat at like 800 kilobyte per second. That was so freaking weird. And yeah. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. Cause like we went to the alley, cause I just wanted to see what happened if we didn't, and then I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. I've got no idea. But yeah. Anyway. And because Shiki was getting, I guess he got frustrated at her questioning him, he slammed the door in her face. Like a jerk. But, you know. I guess to be fair, after seeing a classmate confess to committing, like, murder, I guess he'd be pretty shaken for a while. I guess I can't really blame him. Sheesh. I can't hide anything from Hisui. I take my knife out of the drawer. I don't intend to necessarily use it, but I just feel better with it by my side. Yeah, having something to stab people with is always, I mean, no. The park? Why would you call me out at this hour? I mean, you said so earlier, right? She probably wouldn't appear during the daytime. Muttering, I think back to those foolish tales. Vampires can only move about during nighttime. So, supposing that's true, then Yumizuka didn't call me out at this hour. It's more like if it wasn't this hour, then she couldn't call me at all. I guess so. Sorry, Hisui. Even I think I'm stupid. Yeah, I mean, a little bit. You told me not to strain myself, but I can't just sleep like this. Apologizing to the empty room, I quietly leave the mansion. I rest my body, burning from all the running. It's almost midnight. Yeah. I don't know if I want to skip the fight or not. If the fight ends up being like the exact, or not really a fight, but like, if the sequence go, I mean, I feel like I should go through it, but I don't know. The park located off the main road. Because of the serial killings these past several days, there's not a soul to be seen here. Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be out at night and risk getting murdered. Thump. It's close, okay. I'll go through the full thing then, just so there's the context for, like, the YouTube video. Thump. My heart beats loudly. My throat dries up from the tension. That's why, Shiki, you carry water with you at all times. It's really handy. Get like cargo pants, you know, with like the deep pockets that, you know, it's supposed to be used like. I guess the design around cargo pants is that the pockets are that deep and there's so many, so you can like put tools in them, which is really handy for having like a long ass water bottle. Just stick it in that deep ass pocket and you're good to go. If the phone call that Hisui received was from Yumizuka, then she has to be waiting there for me. Of course, I don't know if Japan has to have cargo pants. Yeah, no, what I was about to say, like, yeah, I don't know. The park is empty at night. There isn't a sound under the moonlight. don't know why, but a chill runs through me. Well, yeah, you're about to be accosted by a vampire. The back of my head numbs. A horrible chill as if my body freezes to my fingertips. I try to catch my breath. In contrast to my cold body, my throat is scorching. It's dry with thirst. Thirst for blood. Yeah, it... It kind of looks like the one outside the convention center they use for Comiket. But there's... Yeah, there's not trees around that area. I mean, there are trees planted, like, in plots, but, like, there's no, like, thick, like, greenery like that. But... So I don't think it's that one, unless there were trees, more trees there in, like, 2000. There could have been, I guess. But... I don't think it's that one. But I know there's a fountain similar to this outside the center that they use for Comiket. I'm pretty sure there is. Am I thinking of the right thing? Comiket building. Which, by the way, I was always so intrigued by how this building looked. Like, I don't know. This looked cool to me. Wait, is there no... Comiket building... No, it could be, actually. It says this is Hibiya Park. This could actually... Hang on, let me bring it up. Yeah, this could be it. Like, if you take the picture from the left side of it, and get that tent over on the right out of the way, and then you take a picture at that side, those could totally be the trees that are in the background in the game. Yeah, if you just get rid of those tents over there and take the picture from the left. Huh. Right? Like, hang on a second. I recognize this fountain. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. But it's also hard to say, because I don't know if there's buildings that are visible off to that side, so it's hard to say. But, like, it could very well be that. Like, even the ground around it looks kind of similar to the ground that was in that picture. Huh. Anyway, I put my hand in my pocket. I just wanted a blade in my hand. Why? Just a faint headache. A low temperature. My mind is cool like ice. Something is strange. This park, it feels like something bad is around here. Yeah? You can say that? Just what am I afraid of? Getting murdered. I shake the headache off and walk deeper in. There's no one around. A terribly dark and lonely place to meet someone. There, someone is crouched, breathing raggedly. Her face pale white as she scratches her throat in pain. Without a doubt, it is Yumizuka Satsuki. Yumizuka? Her figure's tormented. Without a thought for what happened last night, I run towards her. Wait! Yumizuka stops me with just a word. That was a very weak wait from me, I'm not gonna lie, but... Wait, Shiki-kun. I'm glad you came, but I don't want you any nearer right now. Please, don't come any closer. Her breathing looks painful. Her body convulses as she speaks, as if she's about to collapse any second now. She's thirsty for that blood! Don't be stupid. I'm not going to leave someone looking as painful as you alone. No, I'm okay. You came, so I'm fine now. Damn. Shiki's come, heals her, huh? This is crazy. I mean, what? Huh? Forcing herself up. Yumizuka smiles at me. What's going on, Yumizuka? Why haven't you been home? What was that about yesterday? Why that... That what? That... You know what I'm talking about. If you mean yesterday, well, you saw what happened. I told you, I killed those people, didn't I? Yeah, I suppose. She answers frankly. It's almost as if she's laughing at my feelings of denial. Then, the recent killings in town were all you're doing, Yumizuka? I don't like to say it, but that's the way it is, yeah. Okay, here's the thing, though. Why does she say that? Because, like, we know it's not true. And she should know it's not true. Because she was attacked herself. So why does she act like all of it was her? I mean, I guess it's possible that Roa Shiki, whatever, maybe has the power to hypnotize? And made her think that she was the one behind it all along up to this point, maybe? But that's kind of far-fetched. I don't know. Yeah. The hell do you mean that's the way it is? It's just the way it is. I killed those people and I'll keep on doing the same thing. I can't just lie about it, can I? I mean, you could. Yumizuka, you... Please, stop calling me that. I'm calling you Shiki-kun, so it's only fair for you to call me by my first name, too. What? I take a deep breath. Yumizuka is still like before. Even though she acts like she used to. She says some pretty scary things. Yeah? When I think about it, I look foolish. I can never talk to you like this for all the years I watched you from afar. Yumizuka? I was always watching you, Shiki-kun. Even before I was saved in that warehouse, I was always watching you. I'm really a coward. I always just greeted the people around me, and smiled when it seemed right. Before I knew it, everyone was treating me like an idol. So school wasn't fun. School wasn't fun for me. But that changed after you talked to me in the second year of junior high, Shiki-kun. Eh? Nah, it's not something you'd remember. How can I put it? You were always natural, never showing off. Probably you didn't even think about what you said back then. I mean, yeah. He clearly doesn't remember, so it's like, what can I say? Just as Yumizuka says, I remember nothing. I don't know what I said to her, or even if I had talked to her back then. It's okay. Don't make a face like that. You were only hanging out with Inui-kun, so it was normal for you to ignore the classmates. But that was okay. I was happy just being in the same class as you, Shiki-kun. It was my goal to talk to you and let you call me Yumizuka-san. Now that I think about it, it was too small of a wish. She recalls nostalgically. Those ancient days. Like she's remembering something that happened a long time ago. I was always watching you. I knew you'd never notice me, but I watched you anyway. Well, to be honest, I'm happy, but... Do you like me, Shiki-kun? How can I answer her right now? Hisui walked through... Day, what, 3? Oh! Okay, this is different. Akiha's route was... like... This one says to choose hate. The guide says to say hate. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I don't know why either, but... I am curious to see. I mean... hang on, it says of, you know what? I haven't seen the hate her one, so I'll go with it. I hate her. And I forgot to save, so it's too late now. Well, I mean, I guess I could go back to the last save and just skip, but... I'm sorry, but I can't have any special feelings for you. I answered clearly while looking her straight in the eye. I see. Both Yumizuka's voice and body tremble. I can't think of anything else to say. Maybe this makes me a horrible person, but those are my true feelings. Okay, that's interesting though, because he didn't actually outright say he hates her. I never had any special feelings for my classmate Yumizuka Satsuki. I'm only here because what happened on the way home 2 days ago left such an impression on me. I couldn't just forget about it. Yeah. Maybe he'll say something more in a second. Or maybe her reaction will just change, I don't know. Yeah, I knew that. I guess that's why things turned out this way. It's okay. Since you say that, I'll be honest to myself too, Shiki-kun. Okay. Good for you. Ah. Yumizuka's body trembles. Breathing painfully, she falls to her knees. Hang on. I'm gonna reconnect my phone to the internet really quick. Right. A choking sound. Squatting on the ground, Yumizuka coughs heavily as she spits out a lump of blood. Yumizuka? This time I do rush near her. Yumizuka, are you okay? Yumizuka! I put my hand on her heaving shoulder. Ah! I feel a chill. Even through her clothes, I can feel the coldness of her body. Stupid, you're freezing! What are you doing out in the open on a night like this? You know, murdering you?
Shiki-kun.
Her voice is hollow as she says my name. Yumizuka collapses against me. As she pants, her warm breath brushes my skin. Yumizuka?
It's okay if you don't like me, Shiki-kun. Because I really didn't understand you at all until now either.
Yumizuka speaks as she coughs. It's alright, don't talk. I'll take you to a hospital.
But I understand now. Who you are and what you want to do. I really understand now. Because...
Yumizuka's arm tenses. With amazing strength, she digs into my shoulder.
Because I became like you, Shiki-kun.
Saying that, Yumizuka sinks her teeth into my neck. Fading. My consciousness is fading. Yumizuka's fangs dig into my neck. I'm into it. I'm being drained. Oh, I'm sure you are. As if all the life in my body is liquefied and sucked out. God damn! Sounds like a time. Sheesh. Without strength, there are no thoughts. So, my consciousness isn't fading. It is simply being destroyed. Oh. Mind break, huh? I'm a fan of that tag. I mean, what? No. There are no thoughts. Head empty. I know I'll die if I stay like this, but I can't even... kill this woman. All the same, from somewhere beyond my mind, my blood begins to boil. Yumizuka! Both my arms push her back out of pure reflex. She falls right on her behind. What are... I stand up, but I can't. I'm so exhausted I can barely even lift an arm. Yumizuka sits as if in a drunken stupor. I can't see her face clearly. Everything dims as my consciousness fades. I can't control my body either. All that exists is the pain in my neck. Blood gurgles forth. Yumizuka's teeth marks remain in my neck. And through those two deep holes, something black is being poured into my body. The pain as if my spine is about to be ripped out. In pain, I claw at the ground, but there's no relief. I cannot move since Yumizuka has drained everything out of me, and the pain pours into me like a black snake. I cannot move, so the black thing crawls and twists as it pleases inside me. I clutch at the ground. With glazed eyes, Yumizuka looks at me. Yumizuka, what have you...
It's okay. It only hurts at first. First it hurts, but when the blood mixes, it should die down. Don't worry, I won't kill you. I poured my blood in properly so you won't collapse and crumble away like those failures last night. You'll only look at me from now on.
Yumizuka whispers joyfully.
Okay?
What are you talking about, Yumizuka?
I'm saying that I'm making both of us the same, Shiki-kun. Sucking people's blood instead of eating normal food, nocturnal, unable to walk under the sun. You're going to be a different creature.
What is that? Ridiculous. That's just like...
Yeah, like a vampire. I didn't really understand how it became this way either. 2 nights ago, I went out to check the rumor that you were walking around in the shopping district every night. And Then when I came to, I was lying down in that back alley.
Oh yeah! That was never addressed. Why is he going out at night? Like, he even said in Akiha's route that one of the maids saw us leave the building at night when we thought we went to sleep. That was still never explained. Because even though it turned out that it was other Shiki, there was still that our Shiki went out at night still. So like. Okay.
I was lying down in the back alley. Back then, I thought it was just cold, dark, and painful. But it's strange. After a while, after my body has changed completely, I understood a lot of things. My body hurts because it's being destroyed very fast, and the sunlight acts like a catalyst for that. And if I want to stop the destruction, I need the genetic information of the same type of living organism as myself. Yeah, I didn't understand that logic that well, but it was plain enough what I had to do. I was cold and I was lonely by myself. I didn't want to disappear, so I just grabbed a random person that sucked his blood.
I think I've talked about this before, maybe even last week during this, but like, it just says genetic information. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be blood, though, right? Like, it could be something else, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know.
And you know what? It was really delicious. The pain went away and I thought I could do anything. But it was so nice that before I realized that it was all gone. The man was all shriveled up like a mummy and I felt really bad. I thought to myself that I was turning into a monster, both in mind and body. But I had to do it in order to live. Like I said, I didn't kill them because I hated them. I suck blood the same way you people eat, animals. So I decided not to think about it too deeply. Yeah.
Well, what is this? Is it okay to kill other people in order to live?
I
don't know. I think we've had this whole moral dilemma before, but like, I don't know. Like, no. Like in this context, no. If you're eating them, drinking their blood to live, no. Well, but I guess for vampire would be a different set of morals, right? So it's like, I don't know. I fell asleep.
But it seems I've become a proper vampire. Tonight's meal was quite fun. Until now I've been sucking blood since I was cold and in pain. But now that I'm getting the hang of sucking blood, it's becoming more interesting. You understand, don't you, Shiki-kun? You're a much better killer than I am.
What are you talking about, Yumizuka?
Didn't I say it before? I was always watching you, so I know your gentle side and your scary side. I never talked to you because I didn't understand your scary side. But I understand now. You're the same as me. Hey, Shiki-kun. Even you were thinking you wanted to kill someone without love or hate having anything to do with it.
Yeah, different set of morals, I guess. Don't be ridiculous. I've never even once thought that. Well, there was that dream, Shiki, where you were like, oh, I'm so jealous of her being covered in blood like that. It's just like, eh.
I'm not being ridiculous. I never understood the fragile air about you. But now my body has changed and I can understand. Shiki-kun, just you being there is flirting with death. That's the kind of person you are. Like me, someone who has to kill people. You need to kill others the same as the need to breathe, right? You know, I was really happy yesterday. It was the first time I was happy after becoming this way. Because I finally understood you, Shiki-kun.
Oh yeah, barely 24 hours after you became like this is when you became happy about it, yeah. You were great.
I never really knew you before. Shiki-kun, you're the same, right? You see someone and for no reason your heart throbs and your throat goes dry. Seeing red blood, you enter a stupor like you were drunk. From alcohol, right? Stealing the life of others. Extinguishing the life of others. Isn't it so exciting? So fun?
That's a lie, that feeling. I've never... That was something only in a dream, though. But I can't say I never had it.
See? A pure homicidal impulse without the influence of emotion. Your fragile side, which I always wanted to understand. I forgot to say one more thing. A vampire is someone whose blood has been sucked by a vampire, right? That's true, you know. To be precise, the person whose blood has just been sucked dies. Vampires pour their own blood into their victim as a drink to turn them into their own. So what's in you right now is my blood.
Standing up, Yumizuka speaks with satisfaction. I see. This is Yumizuka-san's blood, then. Yes, the black thing that still defiles my body. It's not even a mouthful, but it still causes unbelievable pain, enough to drive me to madness. Madness? No. This is Japan. If that's the case, this blood, this foreign pollutant swimming my body, I can't see it, but with my eyes that would. First, because of my crawling on the ground, my glasses have fallen off. The lines, I can see the point of that foreign substance. Then kill. I stab the point with my knife. I thrust the knife into my I could be wrong, but this isn't what happened last time, right? Last time she was like, damn, I didn't get enough in you. But okay. I thrust the knife into my body. But it doesn't cut any of my flesh. What is killed is not me, but this foreign object.
Now it's been long enough. Stand up, Shiki-kun.
Yumizuka! Girl, I hear Yumizuka's command. The pain fades. I can control my arms and legs again, and I can finally stand up. He didn't stand up for you, Yumizuka.
Good. From now on, we'll always be together, Shiki-kun. Now come here.
Was she not alarmed whatsoever at him having stabbed himself? Like, even if it didn't draw blood, she must have been like, wait, what the fuck? What are you doing, you crazy bastard?
Now come here. Come by my side. Hold my hand and make me feel better.
She holds out her hand. Thump. My heart pounds and my legs begin to move. But they don't move forward. They move backward.
Shiki-kun?
Kill. Yumizuka's bewildered voice. Thump. My heart begins to scream. My throat becomes dry. Every nerve in my body recognizes the person in front of me as an enemy. Kill.
Do it. Do it, Tonoshiki. Unleash your unlimited power.
This feeling. It's as if my thoughts belong to a completely different person. I can't resist the impulse flowing out within me. My mind is growing hazy.
Why? Oh, why? Hey, why aren't you doing what I tell you to?
Kill. Thump thump. Yep. That's what I've decided. He is that part of him is Palpatine. As repeatedly being ordered to kill.
Shiki-kun, you...
No, Yumizuka. She looks at me as I breathe painfully.
Why? Why didn't my blood work?
I killed your blood, so I will not become your partner.
What?
The eyes staring at me are filled with surprise.
Kill.
Please disappear, Yumizuka. I don't understand why, but if you remain here, I...
Kill.
Kill. I don't want to kill anyone. My mind is inverting. Yumizuka's eyes burn black. I don't know, that looks pretty red to me. Oh boy. This is quite different from Akiha's version of this. Like a needle, the sharp intent to kill. Tonoshiki's body separates itself from the mind and will of Tonoshiki. I lick my lips as I pick up my knife.
Do it. Do it. Oh, you're serious now, Shiki-kun? Yeah.
I can't speak. Nothing. The thought of responding doesn't even occur. My field of vision shrinks to nothing. Liar.
Liar. You said you'd help me.
I don't know
anything about that. Fine. If you won't cooperate, I'll kill you first. There'll be plenty of time to give you my blood after that.
Oh, Yumizuka, you either underestimate him or overestimate yourself.
Well said, for a miserable failure.
I can only hear the voice. There are no thoughts. My body kills the body of Yumizuka in return, who's trying to kill my body. A sensation of spurting. My right arm holding my knife is heavy, and my left arm is burning. The burning on my left arm is from the flowing blood. Yumizuka's nails tore through my clothes and made the blood flow. Maybe thanks to the bleeding, my burning blood cools down. My ferociously pounding heart starts to calm. But I start to realize I pierced Yumizuka's heart with my knife, and am now holding her as if I'm embracing her. Well, this is a continuation of my nightmare. Without knowing it, I killed Yumizuka Satsuki. I? Yumizuka's body up against mine is frigid. There was never any warmth to begin with. Her body's like pure ice and isn't doing anything but embracing mine. At least she dies in your arms. That's probably the best way she'd want to go. Yumizuka. My fingers holding the knife shake uncontrollably. Shallow breathing fills the air. Mine and hers. What have I done? I didn't want to kill her. I didn't even have a single thought of hurting her, so why?
Shiki-kun.
I hear Yumizuka's voice right next to my ear. She's probably going to voice her grudge. She asked me to help her. And I think that's what you did. But all I did in response was to kill her without even thinking.
I'm so happy.
But Yumizuka, with a gentleness like she were having a dream, said those words. Yeah. Now that she's about to die, she's realized it's probably the best thing for her in the long run, so she won't hurt people. But why?
Because this was the first time you ever seriously looked at me. That's why I'm so happy. That makes me your first time, Shiki-kun.
Okay, I don't think this is the first time you want to have, you know, his murder first time, but you know, yeah, whatever gets you off, I guess. Thump.
I'm so sorry. They say only death can cure a fool, but in my case, it seems even death couldn't cure me.
Ah, yeah. Thump. Yumizuka? Thump. There's no reply. Her body crumbles to ash. Oh, with a dry sound, her body crumbles to ashes as if it were never there to begin with. Yeah. Her fight got accelerated quite a bit. There was no chase sequence with her throwing a decapitated body head at me, I should say. And no alleyway where she was holding on to us, sucking out blood before we stabbed her. Yeah, wow. What happened?
That's right.
I could not understand.
That's fine.
I breathe harder. Knife still in hand. The contents of my stomach rise to my throat. Yeah. Oh, wait, that's him breathing, right? Not screaming. Never mind. How come? There's regret over killing her. There's also guilt. But above all else, I can't rid myself of this feeling. What a shock. If you call this pain pleasure, then this has to be the greatest pleasure in the world. Yeah. His Nanaya side is really coming out this route, huh? That's what I think as I feel this blood pulsing throughout my body. That's the kind of person you are. Like me. Someone who has to kill people to— oh. Wait, this is right, him remembering Yumizuka. Whatever.
Like me, someone has to kill people to live.
She.
You need to kill others is the same as you need to breathe. Ah.
She said killing others was fun. She probably said it to me. No. No, that's wrong. I cannot accept that. If I accept that, I could never live as myself again. I'm different. I'm different from you, Yumizuka. I'm different from you, Yumizuka. Yeah. There's no power in my denial. My whole vision wavers. Here. If I stay here any longer, I'll go crazy. I have to go back. Back to my world. I need to hurry back to the normal life of Tonoshiki, or else I'll be engulfed by this poison. Trying to stifle the sharp pain in my head, I start to walk away.
When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please kill me.
The door opens with a creak. With a heavy body and dulled mind, I make it back to the mansion. My footsteps drag behind me. The moonlight illuminates my figure, making it look like an exhausted ghost. My left arm hurts where Yumizuka wounded me. So last time it was Akiha who helped us. And I assume we're gonna get Hisui now, right? I think, probably. I can actually sing that song better than that. I was just mainly doing it to... yeah, because... parody the... yeah. I can't sing it well, but I can sing it better than that. The bleeding stopped, and the gradual lessening of the pain tells me it couldn't have been too deep. I reached the stairs. I didn't even care about treating my wounds. Right now, I just want to stumble back to my room and sleep like a rock. Gonna go play Rock Simulator. Oh, wait, Hisui wasn't there to... what? Huh? I thought Hisui was gonna... treat our wounds like Akiha did in her route. Okay. Oh, no, I know what's gonna happen. When she comes to wake us up, she's gonna be like, what? What happened to you, Shiki-sama? Yeah, no, I know. I just thought she'd be like, cause like she didn't believe him when he said that he wasn't gonna go out. So I kind of thought she would have been waiting there, like, yep, I fucking knew it. I checked on you earlier. You weren't there. I don't know. I guess when she comes to wake him up in the morning, she's gonna be like, what the fuck? I wake from a long sleep. The sunshine from the window looks closer to midday than morning. It must be because of how late I got back last night. Yeah. It seems to have overslept. Yeah, no. Staying up till probably pretty close to, midnight? And then having a giant ass gash in your arm? You'd probably be pretty exhausted. Dragging myself up from bed, I look down at my hand. The sensation of how I stabbed Yumizuka remains. 2 nights ago, when I met Yumizuka and saw that hideous dream. If only yesterday was just a dream. But wishing it won't make it so. I have no clue why or how Yumizuka became a vampire, and I couldn't do anything to help her. No. Once Yumizuka had become like that, there was probably no way for anyone to help her. Yeah, she was gone. Well, man, I mean, yeah. She was already dead. All I did was return that corpse, somehow moving about as if it were a living thing back to being a dead body. That's the only way I can think of it. Still, hang on.
Please,
Ow!
please excuse me, Shiki-sama.
With that voice I've become accustomed to, Hisui enters the room.
Good morning, Shiki-sama. How are you feeling today?
Is she not gonna see our whole left arm with like giant, like gashes down it? No? Okay. I slept well, so I don't feel bad at all.
Is that so? Hearing that makes me feel very relieved.
Oh wait, did she come in like the middle of the night and see our arm? Even though she says that, I don't see her even relax her shoulders or give any other indication of it. Uh-huh. But I feel relieved as well. Because of what happened last night, the long night is over. Because I don't have to enter that unnatural world any longer. My heart can relax. Thanks, Hisui. You've always come to check up on me from early in the morning, right? Your concern means a lot to me. Aww. Oh, yeah! Oh, man. Kohaku's pretty good, but I don't know, seeing someone as like not because she's obviously not emotionless, but she schools her features, but seeing her like I don't know, let the mask of indifference down. I don't know. There's something nice about characters like that. Like I mentioned it like day 2 of Arc Wizard, or even I think it was day 1, where I was like, she's a kudere. like she's a clumsy, shy kudere, but like god damn, she's good, man.
Not at all. It is my duty to be concerned with your welfare.
Right, duty. There is a hint of happiness in Hisui's expression. Moreover, I feel like I've been somewhat rescued. While I've been sleeping in bed like this, Hisui came as always to wake me up. With just that trivial thing, I honestly feel like I've returned to my normal life. Yeah.
Shiki-sama, this is somewhat difficult for me to say, but can I?
Difficult to say? If it's about me sleeping until noon, I really can't do anything but apologize.
No, that is not what I meant. But it is perhaps related to when you went to sleep.
Okay. Hisui fidgets with her fingers as she struggles to come up with the right words. Yeah. We told her we absolutely promised her we wouldn't go out, and then we were like, but the outside looking pretty good, know what I'm saying?
I did not say anything, but Akiya-sama found out about last night.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all. Eh? About last night. What?
I mean, when you left late last night, Shiki-sama.
Oh. I unconsciously turned my eyes away from her. Yeah. Yeah, he probably feels bad for lying to her. Because, you know, we did promise her that we would stay in bed and not go out, and then we went out. I thought I'd managed to slip away undetected, but I should have known Hisui would still find out. Yeah.
Shiki-sama, your return late at night has gained the attention of Akiya-sama, so I believe you'll be asked to explain yourself sooner or later.
Yeah. Yes, this will go well. It'll be fine.
She's in the sitting room and may be angry, so please be prepared.
Okay. You know, Hisui's always been a real one. I will say that. Like, whenever we asked her not to say anything, she didn't. Probably because her and Kohaku both know that Akiha is just a little unreasonable at times. But yeah, no, Hisui's a real one. So is Kohaku, to be honest. They both they keep secrets, which is good. I think they only get away with that though because they kind of grew up with Akiha. So yeah, I think any normal servant who was just like a hired hand would probably be like rat him out immediately. But because they kind of grew up together, it was like, yeah. I see. Oh well, I can't complain since it was me that went out past curfew.
About that, will it be occurring again? I cannot stop you, but if you continue doing such things, I must tell Akiha-sama.
Okay, no, that's fair. To be honest, she was willing to like overlook it this one time because she thought it was important to us, but she also is aware of her duty and straight up told us that if we were to do it again, she would have to make Akiha aware. That like I think that's really fair, to be honest. Like the rule of having to stay inside after 8 is dumb, or 7, 8, whichever is dumb. But she's following her. I don't want her mistress's orders without being too stingy about it, too strict about it, which it's respectable. No, nothing like last night will happen again. Everything has ended last night. There won't be any phone calls anymore. Well, from her anyway. You never know. Ciel could be like, "Moshimosh, Ciel desu." Yes, it really has ended. With these words, it truly is over. Yumizuka Satsuki is no more. The vampire skulking the streets has vanished. I don't know how we can think that though, because like... I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't fully paying attention to what she said, or like what. But like, again, she was only a vampire for 2 days. And the murders have been going on for weeks. It's like, or at least like a week and a half. So it's like, I don't know. The vampire skulking the streets has vanished. I, with my own hands, sent away a classmate who said she liked me for all eternity. Yeah. Oh. Is it bad of me to say that I kind of like I know I've mentioned before that I really like Hisui and that I think she might be my favorite, but I'm gonna reiterate that now. I think Hisui and Kohaku are the best 2 girls in the game, and I ain't even gonna cap. Like, I don't know. A lot of people probably disagree with me. A lot of people probably like, Arkwid, or mainly Arkwid. I think most people like Arkwid over Ciel and Akiha, but I don't know, man. Hisui and Kohaku are, I don't know, they're just so good. It's just so good. Hisui looks at me with a painful expression on her face. Gee. Hisui's making that sort of face, then it must look terrible right now. Yeah. Well, I should get up sooner or later. I feel like this should be I should get up sooner rather than later. I don't know. Hisui, is Akiha still here? Because sooner or later says, well, I could get up now or I could get up later, but rather than later would be, I don't know. I feel like sooner rather than later would make more sense there, but... is Akiha still here? She is an awfully busy person, so does she have a routine on her day off?
Yes, she does have plans during her day off, but today she's still in the mansion.
Hmm? She has plans, but she's still here? Yeah, man, she wants to know what what you were doing last night. I don't quite get it, but... Well, I'll go and get changed, so please head to the sitting room before me.
Yes. Well then, please excuse me. Well then, please excuse me.
Yeah. I can, yeah. I mean, it's not even that I dislike CL, right? I don't know, I just like Hisui and Kaku more than Akiha and CL. And then, like you say, Arcwood Route was a while ago, but even taking that into account, I think I don't know. I think by the end of Arcwood's Route, I slightly liked her more than Hisui. But that's because we got a ton of Arcwood screen time and not that much Hisui like focus. But like even then at the end of Arcwood's Route, I think it was a close thing, like slightly. Now that we're getting more Hisui focus and seeing like how much it's such like a real one she is with us, and like I don't know, I don't know. It's hard to put into words. But yeah, I do hope the second part of the remake does change that too, where Arcwood at least shows up a little bit in, because like Akiha's route, we saw her, and this route I think, we saw her back one time, and that was it. So yeah, hopefully this should show up a little more in the remade routes. Oh, did we not? Are you sure we didn't see her back in here? Oh, you know what? No, the reason I thought that was because just like a week and a half ago is when I edited out the, that part of Akiha's route that had, Arcwood's back in it. So I was remembering that. That's why I thought it was more recent than it was. Right, sorry.
Yes. Well then, please excuse me. Please excuse me.
As usual, Hisui walks away without a sound. But I forgot something really important. Or I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Hisui.
Yes? Yes? What is it? What is it, Shiki-sama?
Yeah, I forgot to say something. Thanks for coming to wake me up. We did already say that, though. It's a little late, but good morning, Hisui. Oh, man. I don't know why, man. Like... the like blank-faced girls, like kureis in anime, when I do show that like how much like things mean to them, it's like it just hits me in the heart, man. It's like I don't know. Yeah.
course. Please have a nice day, Shiki-sama.
Well then, I should hurry up and change and head to the sitting room. Saber was a weird one with that though, because like she was kind of kudere at the very beginning, but at the same time not really, because she did smile a decent amount. Especially around food. So I don't know where I'd like classify Saber. Like she's an odd one. Like a I don't know, I guess no, I guess you would just classify Saber as more of just a strong-willed woman and less like one of the dere types. I guess yeah.